Elizabeth, I know personally that you've been dealing with some things here lately. I mean, you're a minister, but also life is going on. And I know you've lost your grandmother recently, and I believe your husband lost his father. And so you're a young woman. I suspect you haven't had a whole lot of grief in your life. What's this been like for you?
Yeah, so this has been an interesting season for both my husband and I. We are both very lucky to be able to say we have great relationships with the people that we lost. I feel very lucky to say that. And we have a great relationship with our families. And because of that, both of those losses were incredibly painful. They represent more than just a typical dad or a typical grandmother, but people who have worked hard to leave a legacy of care and Christian work in our lives. So it's deeper and more meaningful. However, it's so wonderful to be members of faith and to believe wholeheartedly in where they are now, and that there is fullness and joy where they are now. And so while we miss them deeply, we would never want to take that away from them. So
that's neat. Do you think about your mom and his dad? Do y'all think about them often?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother, yes.
I think about my grandmother often. I said this at her celebration service, actually. Every time I smell a compact or a fresh tube of lipstick, I think of that woman, and it's so good because she was a leader in her own right, and I like to say this. I have two great preachers for grandparents. One preached from a pulpit, and one preached from places like a vanity or in her home, or through a wreath on a door, or through the way she cared for people. And so both she spoke and had many great sermons through those things. And so it's a joy to carry out her sermons and preach her sermons now day to day as well. So I miss her deeply. My husband, he says the hardest thing for him about his dad passing, one of the hardest things, of course, is that there are moments throughout his day that he wants to call him. And the remembering, to remember again that he's gone, to not be able to ask for advice when car breaks down, or when we're trying to buy our first home, how do we go through this? Like all those are little things that add up, or to celebrate a victory. You just want to be able to share that with them. So yeah, both of us figuring out what a new normal is without those people in our lives.
I like that. You have to figure out, at various points in life, you have to figure out the new normal.